everyone. It's Andre Owens with another episode of Cosmic Mutiny. I'm with my compatriots David Lyle Johnson and Doc Bastard. And we're just going to talk some stuff today about different things. You know, all things Hollywood Afenders is what brought us together. You know, make sure you go to our campaign on Kickstarter and support us. But I think we want to talk today about a little bit of, you know, Hollywood Afenders, about some fan casting, about how we think we want to do it. And then we'll just talk some more trash about Hollywood or whatever. David, I remember you had a couple thoughts about casting some of the characters in Hollywood Afenders. I mean, we have like Deborah Choi, the accidental furry, and we have Michael Jackson, and we have all 5 offenders. And we have Johnny Tommy and Tweedledee, Tweedledum, tons of people. Just wanted to see if you got any ideas about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably, just as guilty of this as like pretty much everybody who writes, especially with screenwriting. But it's a little different with this because we were thinking animation. So, like in my mind, I'm voice casting it versus like looking the part. And I don't know. I think Aquafina would be great for for Deborah Ann Choi's character. I always thought that Patton Oswalt would be a great Johnny Tommy. He just has that pitch to his voice already. Bobby Cannavale, I think, would be great for Philadelphia Del Thursday. And the tough one for me was always Norma Jean. I don't know who to put her. And Michael Jackson, I would see, just finding a Michael Jackson impersonator because he's an impersonator himself. I mean, they're all impersonators, but Michael Jackson impersonators are so all out there.
Well, man, speaking of Michael Jackson impersonator, I want everyone to go to YouTube and put in, I don't know what you should put in to find it, to see the fight of the Michael Jackson impersonator in Vegas kicking that guy's butt. Like, there's the real Hollywood Offenders, Michael Jackson.
The Hollywood Offenders Twitter page, I think we reposted that video. So
okay, so what is that? What is that? At Hollywood Offenders?
At H-Wood Offenders.
At H-Wood Offenders.
Yeah.
Twitter. Oh yeah, I guess you're gonna check that out. Huh. Now, Doc, I know you're not a big fan of the casting of, say, celebrity culture or celebrity culture anyway. Coming in the Doc. But do you have any thoughts about, casting of if this was made into a animated feature, or even if it was a live action feature?
I will get no one who's famous. These motherfuckers have enough money. We need to get people off the streets who have no money, who need to pay the rents that are already too high. I mean, the rent's too goddamn high already. So we need to get people off the streets. I don't give a fuck about celebrity that already has enough money. Fuck them. I want somebody who needs the money, who can speak the English, who can say the words, and they get the money. They get that. These are the people. We give the money to the people. None of these celebrity worship culture, none of that shit. No more of them. These people, you either have to fuck one of them to get a job, or you have to be related to one of them to get a job. No more of that shit. We give it to the people. If the poorer, the better.
Hey, power to the people. I'm right with you there, Doc. I would never argue about, solidarity, baby. I'm with you. But I do know that, celebrities.
It's also what got me kicked out of country as well for second exile. I was exiled twice.
Yeah, well, celebrities have a lot of power in country, the way I understand it.
No, someone else had enough power. All the celebrities were killed off in the Let's Kill the Rich People battle of 07. That was all completely different story. Oh, they got, we all threw them into, we had active volcano at time. And we needed better weather for crops. So we thought, celebrities, volcano, angry gods, you put together an equation, hopefully it worked out. Other things happen, but things happen.
Interesting. So I don't know what to say about that. I have nothing, country seems like a very weird place to me. I don't know if I'll ever visit country. But if I do, I'll make sure I take you, Doc Bastard.
You have to be kidnapped to visit country.
That's why
that is how tourism works in country. Only kidnapped victims are allowed into country.
It's like the golden ticket.
Yes, but to hostage situation.
Yes.
You're insane,
the
Doc.
Board of Tourism is thriving.
Exactly. So, Hollywood Offenders itself is like a love letter to Hollywood, right? You know, we're reaching out and showing all the crazy stuff about Hollywood. And also our undiscerning eye of the way Hollywood is, you know, unblinking eye about what it is. So in that sense, do you see us, you know, if we were making this into an animated film, do you see this being a streaming service? Do you see it as a film? Do you see it as a show? How do you see it, David? If you know, if it was put together?
I definitely would see it as a series. I think it would be like, you know, like a great Adult Swim type of like series. Yeah, like in the vein of kind of like Aqua Teen Hunger Force, if you guys have seen that one. That was a big favorite of mine. Just kind of like out there comedy.
Well, I know, you know, who I'd like to get is a guy named Shai Lurie, who's was just on the new Beavis and Butthead. Very talented art director, and I think he would be fantastic to work on this. So, Shai, if you're out there, I'm reaching out to you, my man. I know Shai well because he was the original designer of the Bovine League. You know,
nice.
But he's doing a lot of good things now, and I think he would be really a good guy to have on this project because his style is nice and complementary with Doc Bastard's style. Speaking of Doc Bastard, do you have any suggestions or thoughts about what kind of animated style that you would see if we're fortunate enough to have our graphic novel turned into animation? Doc?
We will take entire animation studio at the university hostage, and they will work to live. This will be exchanged. You want to live, you do the work, and it will be done in crude, angry animation, like resembling that of Country, filled with blood and tears, which will be very visible in cells. You'll be like this. Is that red? No, that is the blood of Animator. Had to be used because that's the only red that would matter. And then also, the music will be done by bands of also hostage situation, just kidnap. A lot of kidnapping will be involved for the entire like production. That's why we'll be able to save money. But we might have to spend money on like hotels, and we have to spend money on like, you know, what is that they say? They call in Country. Oh yes, for the for video, because we have to send video to families saying that your loved one is now taken hostage. And then maybe we could get some extra money from bribing. Like, you know, if you want your family member to return, please give us money. You know, we may make some money in the end. Yes.
Our advertising budget.
Well, do you think Country could help us fulfill our Kickstarter budget? Country seems like
not like Americans.
Oh.
Country does not like anyone, to be honest with you. But definitely does not like Americans. That's why I had to run here, because, you know, it's being exiled twice. Twice, I tell you. It's my second exile from Country.
Do you like America?
No.
Doc? You do not like America?
Do not like this.
Do not like this place?
No.
I understand. Well, I know that you live somewhere in the Midwest, or I understand it's the middle America or something.
I cannot tell you the location of where I live. We do not know if agents from Country or agents from here are listening to me. I will tell you that I am existing in time and space, and I have all adequate organs that every other human being has. I have the right amount of organs. Whatever amount of organs you have, I have as well.
Nice. I had no idea. I had no clue people from Country were that well off. I thought you guys, I thought you sold organs at young ages to pay for food, but
we do. We do also sell a lot. We are big time in organ sales. Like, we are the biggest organ salespeople on planet. Like, we are selling young ones, old ones, middle-aged ones, teenager ones. Any organ you want, you get, and you might get second organ half off. We have organ sales all time organ sales.
Nice to hear. So, David, do they sell organs in Scotland?
Yeah, I think what's that, haggis?
Oh yeah, have you ever had haggis? No. I've had it once, and that was yeah. I didn't know what I was eating. You know, it was one of those things where it was just given to me. It was like, yeah, try this traditional Scottish dish. Oh, okay.
Not about that
Oh,
life.
oh no. Well, you know, you know, it's just like not to start going on too much of a tangent. You know, I no longer will eat pig's feet or chitlins because I'm so rich now in life that I eat high on the hog. You know, I don't even think they have hogs in country where Doc Bastard's from.
No, we are all cannibals.
It's efficient.
Which is
Are you-
also why we have like we always
good
have
population
uplining the population depending on like the feasting. We have feast day. We have like it's a very complicated relationship that we have in country. But yes, we are all cannibals.
Now, Doc, I have a question for you. Where did did you have a formal education as an artist, or are you self-taught? I was wondering how you came up with your style.
I worked, I lived, and survived comic book factory house that was ruled over by Eisner and B. King.
Oh yes, yes, we've discussed that. Yes, I forgot about those
Yes, my
evil
art
people.
style was brutalized into me by table leg from like a family table that was a vintage oak wood, good solid wood to be person close to death. Yes, you break the table leg and you just go crazy on person, crazy. I have seen so many of my compatriot artists beaten to death in front of eyes to make sure I meet deadline.
Do
Built
you
character.
do you
Bill's character, this is correct. You must have also been there as well.
I've seen the promotional videos. I feel like I lived it.
No, Doc, may I ask you just one question about your process in art? Do you do thumbnails? I mean, how do you work things out? Or do you go straight to the sketches? I mean, what is your routine that you do use?
We do thumbnails, and then we cry over thumbnails because the trauma gets triggered. Obviously, this brings spirit into work. Tears soak into thumbnails and gives thumbnail spirit, life. And then you take thumbnails and then you make sketches, and these sketches screeches into brain, scratches into eyes, because that's the only other way that it could live, and that screaming and trauma and the triggers and all the other thing therapists tell me comes back to life and finish work, line work. And the line work, that's where the real beatings come in. That's where you are like on floor, in corner, fetal position, crying and shitting yourself into some type of astral form. And then when you see your body fetal position, you realize that even though you are in an astral plane, the person also in astral plane is Eisner. And he said, get back into body now. And then you get back into body and then you get back to work. Understood. That's his process.
Understood. Interesting process. David, I know, when we were hanging out and working together, we would, talk shit and back and forth and we come up with ideas. Now, do you have any particular process that you use as a writer? I mean, anything, or do you use different techniques, different times, depending on what you're doing?
Yeah, I think it's different, but for me, it's like a lot of it is just character building as much as I can.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I was going to say that because when we were coming up with Hollywood Afenders, we were coming up with the characters. But once Doc Bastard did the designs, it really took off for us. Like in creating that whole world. Which I think is interesting. I mean, is that something you think you would do in the future? For even when you're just writing a screenplay, maybe commission an artist to, do sketches for you so that you have an idea what characters look like. I mean,
I think it's a great tool for like, showing kind of some kind of proof of concept. Because I mean, a lot of the times it's for the same reason that books are so popular, is everybody imagines something different in their head of what they're reading. So I mean, I obviously have, image in my head of what I'm creating, that it's not going to be necessarily what the reader sees. So to try and get my I guess my vision across, having an artist bring something like that to life would be, that's like a great addition to it.
Yeah, I was just saying, because I know it's really helped me a lot, especially, as coming from the comic book world, moving into screenwriting, it's really helped me a lot to visualize, when we got those images from Doc Bastard, to visualize the entire world, what I mean, in a complete way. Because sometimes I only have snippets of the way I want things to look, and until you see it from the artist, and which is one of the most you know, for those guys out there, one of the most fantastic things as a comic book writer, and I'm sure, you know, as a screenwriter, it's the same thing, but it's more visceral for me as a comic book writer, is to come up with a scene, send it to an artist, and they visualize it almost exactly how you did it, but in a much better way. You know, that's the most exciting things. I know, because I know that's what, like I was saying, the Doc Bastard, one of some of his panels in the early images of Hollywood Afenders are so cool because they're so full of so many characters within a small, you know, so dynamically put together. It's so exciting to see that. I don't know if you feel the same way, David, when you got those.
No,
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. So it's really, you know, that's what I think is really exciting. Hey Doc, what when you get a script for a comic, do you how do you break it down? Do you break it down like by scene or character? I mean, how do you decide how you're going to lay a panel out?
I let the spirit of script talk to me in, like, you know, in his language. It speaks to me, and then then while we are yelling back and forth, I then like read script and then, you know, break it down scene by scene, seeing which what is more powerful, which scenes are more dynamic, because a comic book is about dynamic. You have to create a dynamic scene. You're not trying to just draw boring, you know, blah scene. Blah scene, anyone could do that. What am I, a person with MFA? I don't do that. I'm not MFA comic book artist. I went to school of hard knocks and the beatings of table leg and the hang and all the other things. But like, yes, you know, MFA people, they draw boring scenes. You know, I come from school where you have to draw comic books that will grab you and then, like, you know, by collar and shake you like, you know, like unwanted baby.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. That's an interesting analogy you put there with the unwanted baby. And on that note,
air shake.
Yeah. Don't, you don't want to, hey, y'all out there, don't shake babies, please. Just don't shake babies.
Unless they started it.
I mean, unless you got Doc Bastard's going to pay your bills, you know, you don't want to shake any babies. That's, you know, there's a whole thing about shaking baby syndrome. You know.
Unless they
And
started
I mean,
it.
mind you, late-term abortion program in country required you, like, hey, you could do it at home with shaking baby technique.
Well, that country has more options than probably anywhere else in the world, it seems.
We are very progressive.
10th trimester abortion.
10th trimester.
Yes. Like, listen, you either shake it or we eat it. Whatever comes first.
Whatever comes
now,
first.
Mind you, deal very good.
Oh, well, I understood that a country also has retroactive abortions up to 6-7 years old, I believe.
This is correct. You are allowed to murder your own child before age of 13. That's recently changed. You can murder your child before 13. After that, you're stuck with it, and the state will do it for you.
Oh,
that's like a rush at 12 years old to, like, you know, rethink your life.
Well, we don't do the Russia thing. We don't rush. We are a country.
Is there a rush at 12 years old to rethink your life?
Yes. Oh, no. Yes. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are like, listen, either me take your life or state take your life. Yeah. And state, they make it to sport.
Right. So, okay. On that note, we've had a fantastic Cosmic Mutiny episode, and I'll talk to my compatriots again, David Lyle Johnson and Doc Bastard. And look, talk to you guys soon. Take care.
Do not forget to subscribe.
Oh, yes.
And also,
subscribe.
Do Kickstarter. I need money.
Subscribe. Ring the bell. Do all that kind of crazy stuff.
No, just subscribe. No bell. Bell does not work.
Bell works. Bell works.
And go to Kickstarter for money. I need money. These people need money. Money.
Yeah, follow the link. Follow the link in the comments down below for our Kickstarter. Anyway, talk to you guys soon.